Withhold is always the whopper traditionally, and now lockdown is over and Freedom Day is here. Let's talk about it and how it affects real estate.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael Berger, Mark Novak, episode 574. Open homes are back. Freedom, as everyone's saying, Freedom Days. So there's going to be some big changes to the routine for an agent. That, what's that saying? 30 days creates a habit. So the habit of no open homes.
Yeah.
The habit of private appointments, the habit is well in for agents. So even though we're going back to something that you've always done, not to have something for 2-3 months or even longer for some other agents, it's definitely going to feel weird for the first week, but also for buyers. So Mark, talk us through open homes are back. What's been a bit of the feedback, good and bad, of having no open homes? Because definitely some positives.
Yeah, look, I think it was interesting that it didn't hold back prices. That was the most interestingest things out us. Like, that was just unbelievable that how the property market performed in that last 6 months was generally, I guess you could say it helped. I don't know, but it was definitely logistically for agents a bit of a nightmare, and I think for buyers, I think it was nice in the way of you had time with a one-on-one questions and answers with an agent, but it sort of sucked because you sort of were, your run during the day was like a 5 or 6 or 7 hour run or 8 hour run, rather than getting in and out and seeing a whole bunch of properties within a couple of hours. Yeah.
Well, that was one of probably the worst things for buyers, maybe waiting 3 days a week to get access, and having a pretty jigsawed with you maybe seeing it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But keep in mind, a lot of buyers were working from home, so that was okay. I reckon a lot really enjoyed that private time with it, because if you think of it open, you've got 30 other people there. You may have partners at one property and the other, which is what we'll get to with how to plan for the ideal Saturday. Now they're back, Mark. Because if you're looking for 2 bedrooms, there may be 10, but they're all at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. What's sort of your game plan to attack that?
Look, I think you just got to book in your favourite. The nice thing here is also you can bring your partner, your kids, your parents, your friends. Like, you can generally just bail or lob on through an open house, which is really, really fun, and I think also efficient, that you can get everyone through now, because before it was only one agent, one buyer. So I think that's going to be big. Is it going to pump prices up? Probably not. I think we've sort of had that. Obviously, Freedom Day is. I think for retailers it's pretty cool, because we've got commercial tenants which are been doing beauty, hair, restaurants, and those guys being able to trade freely, I think, so important.
Yeah, and I think for planning the Saturday, regardless of pricing and the logistics, I think it's very important for buyers plan it the night before, especially because things may look like it's all very close. Like, you may be going to 10 apartments, 2 bedrooms in DY, but like Mark, on a busy Saturday, going from maybe Beachside back up to Kempsey or the back end of DY, it could take 20 minutes and really throw out the run and miss it. So I think to have that sort of the perfect guide, planned it on Friday, and see what now agents will show you on Sunday. Maybe tenants as well will be a little bit more forthcoming. Like, most have been really great with access, but some tenants were quite strict, and which is all, that's each to their own sort of thing. So maybe buyers can book in second inspections on Sunday, and then we may see a bit days on market was already really well. We actually may see days on market go longer now because auction campaigns will come back. Whenever I saw people say days on market were like reduced over the last few months, sort of insinuating a booming market, it is right, but it's also they don't take into account auctions are down, so a lot of properties are doing private treaty. When you do an auction, you generally tend to your 3-week or 4-week campaign. So I think you will probably see days on market go out just because of that tweak.
Yeah, and also I think from a seller's mindset, guys and girls. Now this is a live show on Novak Facebook. If you want to make comments, we'll happy to entertain your comments, thoughts, concern. Anmal, g'day, you legend. Good news about the Opens. Anmal's a real estate agent. So it's. I think that from a seller's perspective, now the Freedom Day is here, I would be thinking it's the perfect time to sell. It's school holidays are over. I can now have a campaign generally unaffected with showings. So I do think guys and girls that are looking to buy, you're going to see a lot more stock, certainly from the people that we're speaking with in the marketplace. There's a lot of units and a lot of houses coming onto the market in our core area. I think most areas of Sydney, I'm talking to real estate agents and they're saying the same. So you're going to get a better selection, guys and girls, to buy.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add on to that, Mark, or just in general? I think Q4, as we sort of touched on, it'll be interesting to see the retail numbers, and fingers crossed. I think the Q4 could be as big as the last 3 quarters, and hopefully it is, especially for a lot of the retail industry and hospitality industry. If you think of significant restaurants, they've been closed nearly all year, and well, the bar's not too high to beat the last 3 quarters, but let's hope they can earn their year in the quarter. That's what we need. And I think there's a chance it will happen. I think a lot of buyers will come back.
So you reckon trading could add up trading Q1, Q2, Q3, and it's going to be bigger? Adding all those up is going to be bigger than this quarter is going to be bigger than those 3 quarters put together, you reckon?
Yeah, but yes, but it's a very general thing. Some industries have done better Q1, 2, 3 than they've ever done, but especially towards the retail and the hospitality industries, they need it. And I think the consumer demand to go spend a lot of money at the pub is there. The consumer demand to have the restaurant with friends, pack it out, stay there for, I think, is there. And then to walk around Westfields and just buy heaps of crap, I think it's there. So yeah, I think those sectors will hope they need it, and I think they will have a big Q4.
What did Lisa just say? I was just reading that just then. Hang on. Lisa, were also buyers didn't want to come out while cases. There were people just genuinely scared. That's right. That just didn't want to come out to opens as well. So there's, people always think of what they're being told that they're not going to go out there, but I think also just the sheer fact that they were just scared that they didn't want to go out to opens. And you know what, Burge, also savings. If you've genuinely haven't had hair, makeup, any beauty, any retailing, I think some people you were saying savings was up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, all the things you spoke to that there is like something a husband would think of saving. Like, I haven't seen $1,000 hair bill. Haven't seen it. That just came to mind. All the things yeah. Let's just say there weren't things I think you were thinking you wanted to spend money on.
You know what? I don't think I was actually in terms of that. I've always bought a lot of stuff online, and I've never really walked through a shopping centre. I can go a whole year without walking through a shopping centre, so I wasn't that hammered. I know people were complaining about a lot of stuff, but I didn't sit in coffee shops a lot. I didn't it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I think they're the things that I think of that I had complaints about.
Yeah. I think a lot of husbands are like looking at the figures going, shit, this was a good year. They'll be like, wow, we're on track we're actually going to save money this year. They start end of quarter four, like, how did that happen? Anyway.
Yeah, big time. But that, I think that pent up demand is also going to be great. Like, I know as a family out, we've been talking about going out to dinner, I think, on Tuesday night. I just think, yeah, it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun.
As Lisa says, we're going out shopping. As I say, quarter four, the spend could be larger than the last 3 quarters. So anyway, anything else to add on to that? The wrap?
Mate, I think that's great. Look, it's just really positive, guys. It's nice. I hope everyone travelled well, physically, mentally, financially, in this last lockdown. I think, you know, it definitely it caught me by surprise. I like to think that I got a pretty good radar or nose for what's going to happen in the marketplace, and I just didn't expect a lot of things that happened in this last lockdown. The length of time and the depth of how heavy it was going to get, I just completely underestimated. So, you know, I think it's hopefully everyone's been well and adjusted. What happened to the pivot word in the first COVID lockdown? No one used it this lockdown, but I think everyone already had pivoted.
Yeah, it got spoken about too much. Anyway, that's a wrap. We'll pivot to our trailer.
It got overused.
Overused.
Mate. Everyone, enjoy, take care. Hope you're healthy. Burge, hope you're getting better. Since your Burge got the jab and has lost breath a little bit, but it's gone longer than I thought. We had it on Wednesday and it's still going.
Yeah, not that you're not allowed to talk about any side effects, but I haven't been able to breathe for like a week. So let's not blame.
It's true you don't hear about it.
Yeah, it was.
It's not from vaping.
Yes.
And everyone's and you know what? Now everyone's thinking, "Hey, Burge, did you get AstraZeneca or did you get Pfizer?"
And then the next thing is, well, luckily you're suffering now because it would have been worse. Okay.
That's what it would have been like if you had COVID.
I know. You'd be dead if you hadn't. So put up with not breathing now. So anyway, I can't breathe. But
it's getting better. It's getting better.
Yeah.
And you're a young bloke. I think that's the most surprising thing. You expect it in 60s and 70s, but I think that a lot of them saying it's happening to 20-year-olds.
Well, that's the thing. The people who have a very little chance. Anyway, don't get me started. I'm going to lose the little breath I've got. Thank you, everyone.
Guys, welcome to Freedom Day. Enjoy Freedom Day. Merry Christmas. We're on the cusp of that as well.
Bye.